What's going on, everyone? So I just found something pretty interesting here with Bito, B-I-T-O, Bitcoin Strategy ETF out of ProShares. This is actually the very first Bitcoin-linked ETF in existence that was created. It was the first one ever. And their investment objective, it says here, ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, or Bito, is the first U.S. Bitcoin-linked ETF offering investors an opportunity to gain exposure to Bitcoin returns in a convenient, liquid, and transparent way. The fund seeks to provide capital appreciation primarily through managed exposure to Bitcoin futures contracts. So that's the investment objective according to ProShares. So there's a fact sheet, there's a prospectus. I'll link this below if you want to take a look at it. This is the performance since inception, obviously. So what's going on here? Well, that's when you look into their holdings, right? And I almost shit myself when I saw this, but they got Treasury bills. They got Treasury bills in their holdings. That's where the liquidity's coming from. Fed Central Clearing, it's the repo. Repo, it's all about the repo. How low can you repo? But seriously, I mean, we're talking exposure value notational to Bitcoin is $430 million. Their exposure to the Treasury bills is $348.6 million. So while we just read a second ago that their investment objective is to invest primarily in CME Bitcoin futures, that's not the case because we have Treasury bills with a CDOL number. Let's see if we can find anything on the CDOL number. Get the details on the Treasury bill. Oh, okay. And this, of course, links to BlackRock, which is the Fed's right arm. And this is the iShares S&P GSCI Commodity Indexed Trust. Performance also been subpar. Holdings. This is the, where's that Treasury bill? Let's type that CDOL number in. There it is, right there. So, what we see here is BlackRock, which is the Fed, is holding the same Treasury bill that we can see in Bito ETF. So, can you see how it might all be linked together via the ETF ecosystem and more? 6.98% weight with a notational about 1.6 mil. I'm sorry, 99.6 mil. CUSIP number, so now we got the CUSIP number to this Treasury bill, so now we can further go and find the CUSIP. And we get to the Treasury auction results. And what we see here is this was issued for immediate release on May 16th, 2022. Treasury auction results. This is the same bill that we just looked at the beginning, right here. This Treasury bill that's inside the Bito ETF is also here inside the iShares S&P GSCI Commodity Index Trust. And this is the details of that Treasury bill. And look right here, SOMA. SOMA. Do you want to know what SOMA is? If we go here to the reverse repo, data dashboard, and we go to, let's do some Control F work here. Domestic holdings includes CUSIP level data and SOMA historic data export builder. Total SOMA holdings. So it's all linked together. You just walked with me. We went from Bito ETF from ProShares, the first ever Bitcoin linked ETF, to iShares S&P GSCI Commodity Index Trust, which is managed by BlackRock, which is the Fed's right arm, which we trace back the CUSIP number to the Treasury bill. And then we find out that it's in the SOMA holdings, which is full circle back to the Fed, that lands on your market's data dashboard. So, that's basically it. Bito, iShares, Fed, all the same, all one and the same. If we go into these domestic holdings, then we can see we have U.S. Treasury bills, U.S. Treasury notes and bonds, U.S. Treasury floating rate notes, U.S. Treasury inflation protected securities, which is also TIPS, federal agency securities, agency mortgage-backed securities, agency commercial mortgage-backed securities, total SOMA holdings of 8.291 bill, Change from the prior week, negative 16 million. So this data is very useful. You can go and look at it historically. There's CSV to export if you'd like. So yeah, but tell me, why is there Treasury bills inside of the Bito ETF? Because they need it for liquidity. So there you have it. That's how you reverse engineer something odd in a Bitcoin holding all the way back to the source, which is the Treasury bill that we just looked at. And we found the QSIP number by going to BlackRock, looking at the holdings. You actually got the ISIN number too. So now if you really wanted to be autistic with it, what you could do is you could go here to the ESMA Systematic Internaliser page and see if it by chance also is getting hits over there in Europe, which would not be hard to do. And we go here to non-equity. Oh, of course it's not available. You bastards. Did they give any kind of disclosure about this? Of why it's not available? Okay, as announced on 28th of June 2022, due to operational constraints, ESMA is not publishing today the SI regime data for non-equity instruments other than bonds. Okay, how convenient. The non-publication of this data means the mandatory SI regime will not apply from 15th of August to November 14th. Oh, shit. And investment firms will not need to perform the SI test for non-equity instruments other than bonds. However, investment firms can continue to opt into the SI regime in the interim period. The SI calculations for non-equity instruments other than bonds will resume on the 1st of November. So, there you have it, folks. You just saw crime, and you read it all, and it's all from the people that are doing these things themselves. Except the funniest part is that it's not crime. It's all legal. But yeah, they're just... First time I've seen that. I've looked at this data for the last 2 years, and it's never happened until right now. ESMA data blocked. So, I think that's funny. So anyways, from Bito to iShares, to the Fed repo data dashboard, to the Soma holdings, to the data for the systematic internalizers, which we get blocked because we can't go any further because they are just not reporting the non-equity data this time around. So it is what it is. Y'all have a good one.